Hi Year 4, so we've made it to our final maths lesson of the summer term and the year, and today we're looking at fractions of amounts. So the first question is asking you to find half of 8. Now most of you will probably know that anyway, but we've got a little diagram here to help you. So we've got 8 little circles and we basically need to divide by the bottom number because the half would be like that. Okay, so 8 divided by 2 is 4. And I can draw a line there. You can see there's an equal amount on both sides. So half of 8 is 4. The next question asks us to find a quarter of 8. So we're going to divide it by the bottom number. So how many 4s are there in 8? There are 2. So I can split it in half. Now a quarter is half of a half. So my line down there splits it into half, and then if I half what's left, I've got 2. So that's 1 quarter. 2 quarters. I can then split it into 3 quarters, and then 4 quarters, or 1 whole. So each quarter has got 2 in it. So a quarter of 8 is 2. So this time we've got to find half of 6 and a third of 6. So most of you will probably know that half of 6 is 3. We'll double check by dividing by the 2. So how many 2's in 6? 2, 4, 6, there's 3. Okay, so we've got 3 on the top, so that's half is 3. And the bottom half, there's 3 in there also. But then it's asking us to find a third of 6. So, divide by that bottom number. How many 3's go into 6? So 3, 6, there's 2. So with my diagram this time, I can split it into thirds. 1 third with 2 in it. My second third has also got 2 in it. And then my third third, which makes it into 1 whole, has also got 2. So a third of 6 equals 2. So this time we've got slightly more, we've got 20 this time. So the first one we need to do is find half of 20. Half of 20, what's half of 20? Hopefully you're telling me it's 10, okay? We'll double check by doing our division. Okay, so how many 2's in 20? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Let me put it on there, 20. Okay, so we've got 10. So I can put my line down there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in one half. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in the top half. The next one is asking me to find a quarter. So how many 4's in 20? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. 5. So I can split my diagram up. There's 5 in each row, so I can simply do that. If you remember what I said before, a quarter is half of a half. So before my line was there, and I had 10, and I've split 10 in half. We all know that half of 10 is 5. So now each row, which is 1 quarter, has got 5 in it. Then it's asking us to find 1/5 of 20. So let's rub these lines out a minute. So think what we need to do in order to do that. We've got to divide by the bottom number. Remember, because these fractions would normally be set out like that. You can't type like that on the computer. So how many 5's in 20? 5, 10, 15, 20. There are 4. So this time with the diagram, I'd have to split it this way. So 1/5, 2/5 with 4, 3/5 with 4, 4/5 with 4, and my final 5th also has 4 in. So 1/5, which is this, has got 1, 2, 3, 4 in. So 1/5 of 20 is 4. Okay, so now I'm going to write it out again for you. We've got to find 3/10 of 50. So these are questions if you get onto section C. We've got the ones with a bigger number, a number higher than 1 on the top. Okay, so there's 2 things you need to do. We do the same job first. We're going to divide by the bottom. So how many 10's go into 50? So if you draw this on, then it might help you. So there's 5 lots of 10 in 50. So I'm going to put that in my little box at the side. So we'll divide first, then you've got to multiply by the top number. So 5 times 3, 5, 10, 15. That would be my answer. Okay, so job number 1, divide by the bottom. And then job number 2, times by the top. And if you remember to do those two things in that order, you won't go wrong with this type of question. And if it means writing a division sum out, by all means do that if that helps you. So this time we've got 4/8 of 32. So you've got to find 1/8 first. That's why we divide first to find 1/8. So how many 8s in 32? 8, 16, 24, 32. There are 4. So right at the side. And then if you look back, so we've divided by the bottom, we've now got to multiply by the top number. So 4 times 4. So we found 1/8 is 4, but to find 4/8, we've got to times 4 by the 4, which is 16. So 4/8 of 32 is 16. Okay, so this one is exactly the same. We've just got a pound sign in there this time. So 5/6 of 48. So divide by the bottom. 6/8 of 48. Okay, and then we've got to multiply by the top. So 8 times 5 is 40. Don't forget your units on my pound sign. So we found 1/6 of 48 was 8. Then we need to find 5, so we have to multiply those two together, which gave me my 5/6. So 3/4 of 4.8 centimetres. Now, you might not know what the answer is here in your head, so let's divide it. So 4 and 4.8. Remember, your decimal has to still be there. So 4 into 4 goes 1 with no remainders. 4 into 8 goes 2 with no remainders. So I've got 1.2. Okay, so I've divided by the bottom, so I've found 1/4, but I've now got to find 3/4. So I've now got to multiply my answer by 3. So if you can't do that in your head, do it as a sum. 1.2 multiplied by 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Decimal, 1 times 3 is 3. So it'd be 3.6. Don't forget your units, centimetres. Okay, so there's an example of one where you might need to write the sum out to do it. You might be able to in your head, but if you can't, don't worry. Just write it out. Bus stop method and your column method there. So we've got 2/3 of 30 kilograms. So divide by the bottom first. How many 3's in 30? That's 10. And then multiply by the top. This is giving me my 1/3. I need 2/3. 10 times 2 is 20. And don't forget my units, put my kilograms on. And the final one to finish off, 3/4 of 1 kilogram. Okay? So let's change this first into 1,000 grams. I think it asked you for the answer that way. So, how many 4's in 1,000? Okay, carry it over. 4 into 8 is 2, remainder 2. 4 into 20 is 5. 4 into 0 is 0, 250. Then I do 250 times 3. That's a sum. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6. Add the 1, 7. So it'll be 750 grams. Would give you my 3/4. Because it works out 1/4 was 250, times it by 3, gave me 750 grams. Okay, so today's job, you'll have this sheet hopefully from Firefly, fractions of amounts. If you're confident and you feel okay with this, then start on B and then move on to C. If not, so if you feel like you need a little bit of practice first, you can start on the A and then move through to B, and if you've got time, on to C. Okay, so best of luck. Well done with all your maths since you've been learning at home. We're very proud of everything you've achieved and how hard you've all worked. So last slog today, and then that's your maths done for the year. Okay, well done, Year 4.